All right, thank you for joining. So today I wanted to go over STRK USDT Bybit chart, otherwise known as Starknet. Very popular coin that just launched, had one of the highest um, valuations of any cryptocurrency project that launched. I think it launched in like the top 50 or top 20, maybe, yeah, somewhere around there. Pretty high valuation. Let me go ahead and clean this up really quick. So, yeah, somehow this played out, by the way. I had this drawn out, pull the fibs from the lows to the high. Price came down, hit the golden pocket. Pull the fibs from the high to the low. Price went up, tapped the golden pocket. Stepped away from this chart for a little while. And after we got that massive wick down, it tapped the 1-to-1 extension from this retracement that I did, right? So just to jump into that a little bit more, just so you can see how this 1-to-1 was pretty much hit to the dollar. It's actually very interesting how that played out. Yeah, so when I pull the 1-to-1 extension, as you can see here, let me go ahead and show you. So boom, right there, right? So I pulled it from this low to the high, as you can see. And then this target down here is simply from the lows or from the high to this middle. We go ahead, grab that, pull it down, and you'll see 1-to-1 extension hits it right there. And price actually played out pretty exact. I wish I did have a buy order down there. This kind of looks like the Gartley pattern. I think it's not really the Gartley. It's pretty similar, but it did play out. I had this idea in mind, and it did actually play out. So let's go ahead and see what else we have here from this project. So let me go ahead and just clean this up really quick. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. Get this out of the way. And get this out of the way. So just looking at this project from its all-time high, it's pretty crazy actually. So from the highs, which seem a little ridiculous, but let's just go ahead and pull those levels regardless. And see what we have going on here. So obviously resistance, price came up at some point. All right. Not too much price action, so bear with me, but price did come up, basically tapped this area right here as resistance, came back down, and we're now trading within this range. The range sits between $1.67 up to $2.19. Effectively, we are trading within a 30% range. So if you do get longs from the low, you can target the highs of the range. That could be a 30% move. Right now, we are sitting just below the 50% mark. But as you can tell, we are currently out of this trend, right? So we had this downtrend going from February 27th up until now, March 1st. We did break out. Very slow breakout, right? But that's still a breakout at the end of the day. So rejection, came down, rejected, came back in, found support on the VWAP, and it's now trading sideways. Within this sideways range, it is now back tested the trend line as support. And with that being said, over time, I would expect this project to now continue to move a little bit higher. All right, so if we do get that move higher, let's just go from the swing high to the lows. All right, right there. Let's go ahead and pull the golden pocket, see where that lines up. So since we're pulling from this high to the low, then I would expect to move to at least tap this area right here. There's really not much going on with this. Well, let's see here. Let's go ahead and mark out some high time frame levels here. So we do have a daily which has been tapped, but it's still somewhat relevant. I'm going to keep this on here actually. So we have a daily right here lining up right below the golden pocket. So that's the only reason I am keeping this daily, because it's right below the golden pocket. So it's still somewhat relevant, right? Put a little T there for tapped daily level. We also have a new daily here, which just happened. So with that being said, I would expect price to more than likely actually come down and tap this daily before continuing higher. Let's just see if we do have any weekly levels. We do have a weekly level as well. And the way how this is playing out, I believe that this will close like this. We have about 48 more hours. It could pump out of nowhere, but very unlikely. So we have the weekly level, daily levels marked, weekly levels also lining up close to this golden pocket, pulled from this high to the low. All right. Very interesting to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and move in a little bit more locally. We do have this trend here as well. Go ahead and pull that. And there you go, a little golden pocket lining up with that daily as well. So more confluence. I actually don't really like this trend line. Whenever you see trend lines like this, it impulses up, comes down, does this higher low. A lot of times, for some reason, they do get swept, right? But you never know. We have to see how it plays out. But for right now, this is really the important level for me. I'm actually going to also put a little alert down here, because I believe we can see price action play out. Something like this comes down, takes these local lows right here, continues, reclaims that as support, move higher before targeting the weekly level, golden pocket. And depending how the market goes, maybe we get rejected, or maybe we just break out, flip this into support, and continue higher to then tap the top of this range, which is around, from current price, 20% away, which is a very, very big move. So what I want to do actually is go ahead and pull this fixed range tool just to see where we are within this range. So also very bullish, right? Look at that. The value area low is lining up with the trend line, which just got tapped. Point of control, slightly below the weekly, but it's still lining up with the 50%. So that's going to be some sort of area where we get a little rejection from. But then the value area high, this is what's very, very important. So your value area high is in fact lining up with your golden pocket, almost dead center, daily. So this is actually a very big confluence area, right? So this is exactly where I would keep my eyes on. Yes, the top of the parallel channel is the target, but if you're in a trade and let's just say it is going well, I would consider taking some profits here. Obviously not financial advice, but this is going to be a very big resistance in my opinion, right after this resistance, which is the point of control. So this is where most of the volume has been traded. And once price, I always say, once price is within the value area low, which it is, it tends to want to find the value area high. So there's nothing really stopping me from believing that this is going to eventually make a nice run up 10% to at least tap this level up here. And then we'll see how the rest really plays out. So until it breaks out of this parallel channel, then I'm just going to keep my bias the same. We trade the levels, trade the ranges, and right now it is currently trading at a very interesting range, right? Or area, I should say. Broke out, back tested right above the value area low, aiming at the value area high. So right now from these levels, 10%. If you wanted to go long, personally, not the best area. You don't really have much, but the good thing is you do have 3% is not the worst. you'd really want your stop losses to be all the way down here, right? At least down here, because like I said, price can come down, sweep these lows, and then impulse higher. And then you'll be very upset with yourself if this plays out. You get just stopped out. Exactly how I drew it. You just get stopped out, price reclaims the level and continues higher. So down here would be the best area to put your stop loss, obviously managing your position size, but then your risk reward is not the best. So I wouldn't really long here. I'd really just I'd wait to see how everything plays out. It's best to at least wait for another retest of the value area low. At least you get a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. Down here would be perfect in my opinion. Now it's 3.5 to 1, and then your risk drops all the way down to 3%. Your position size does get a little bit bigger as well. But that is pretty much it with Starknet. You know, there's really nothing else to say besides trendline broken, more bullish than bearish in my opinion. Value area low has been reclaimed. Golden pocket daily magnet level below, which we can see price get sucked to, right? Forming a higher low, or we just continue higher from here. So regardless, if you get in here, you get in there, manage your position size, risk management, and it should play out, right? The market is still very bullish. Bitcoin is still just at an interesting zone. I still think 69,000 is the target. As you can see, let's go ahead and pull that up. Yeah, Bitcoin is trading within its own little range here, but it is holding this level, still holding above the monthly. And the all-time high is not too far away. I think, you know, we can get a push up there within the next week, at least testing that level. I find it very strange to come that close to then just front run the level, right? So yeah, that's it for Starknet. Like, subscribe to this video, it means a lot.